All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of the Always Chillin' Podcast. Skinny D, the Sandman, here in the barbershop once again. I don't really have a plan for today. Honestly, I'm tired, man. We had these couches upstairs, and then we put them downstairs, and then we didn't want them anymore, so we had to bring them back upstairs. And it was,
I've done that before.
I'm beat, man. I'm beat, and my wife's like, she's my dainty little wife, So we get down there to pick up the couch, and she tries, and she's like, "I can't do this." And I'm like, "Babe, we have to. Like,
we gotta do
like,
it.
It's not an option. So we're doing it, and we'll figure it out. Like, I'll just try to pick up most of it, and if you can just pick it up a little bit, that's good." But she did great. And then she's super. She has a lot of ingenuity. So like, we got it outside because we were just gonna put it in the garage.
Right.
So we got it outside, and she's like, "I don't want to lift this up," and I'm like, "Well, you have to because it's we're not gonna drag it across the concrete, whatever." And I still have this like Marine Corps brain where it's like I'll brute force my way through a lot of shit.
Right.
Like, I'm like, this needs to get over there, so I'm just gonna drag it and it'll get done, and that's just how it's gonna happen. But she's like we don't want to drag it, and she's like, I don't want to pick it up, but we have a big piece of cardboard, so she's like, oh, I'll just put it under it, and then we can slide it on the cardboard. And I'm like, that's smart, and it worked. It worked like a charm, dude. We just slid it into the garage. She didn't have to lift her end up, so
I have no problem with a good idea.
yeah, it's a great idea.
Whether it's mine or not.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of ingenuity. She's always problem solving for me.
I'll take that.
I'm really often about to do something the hard way, and she's like, "Why are you about to do it like that?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I never.
I was just about to fucking do it.
I never thought about it. When I used to work downtown, the parking lot that they had us in was like 3 blocks away from the building.
Right.
And when it would snow, I would park in the parking lot, and I would walk all the way over to the building, and I'd be in there like pissed. And then this dude that worked with me one day, he was like, "Hey, when it's snowy, like, why don't you just park closer? Just park on the street or something and pay for parking that day, And I was like, I don't know, dude. Honestly, I never thought about it. Like to me, it's like not even an option. Like, I have to park here, and I'm going to work, and I'm just gonna walk through the snow, and it is what it is, and I just have a long shitty walk, and it's gonna be okay. Like, that's just how it's like, I'm really like, this has to get done, and I'm just gonna do it because it has to get done.
I can do just like if I show up somewhere and that's where I park, whether it's a block or 2 away, whether I fuck up or not, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I gotta walk 2 blocks. If it works out, makes me feel good while I'm walking, I'm able to get some thoughts in, get some fresh air.
It wasn't bad on a nice day. I did kind of like that walk on a nice day.
Then it just fucking works.
Yeah, but I do that with like everything. I'm just like,
it just fucking works.
I'm so like not focused on trying to do it. Like, I don't really want to think about it for too long. I'm like, okay, it has to be done. Let's just start doing it. Because like the longer we sit here trying to figure out how to do it, the longer it's going to take us in my brain. But sometimes it's like, if you sit and think about it for a second, you might come up with an idea that makes it easier. And then you do it faster. I need to remember that sometimes. But I'm just so like, this has to happen. I'm just going to do it right now.
I got my old barber instructor used to say there's more than one way to count to 5.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
More than one way to count to 5.
Yeah, so I'm not very good at that. But so anyway, what I'm saying is I'm tired and my back hurts, and I didn't bring a plan for today. So what you got? You got anything you want to talk about? This show's like completely freestyled, by the way. There's no scripting. Some people, I see some people on Instagram and stuff, they like script their like clips.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's like, they'll say something, and the other guy's like, "Whoa, no way, really?" But they're like acting really badly. This isn't like that because I don't even think about what I'm going to talk about.
I tried that. Yeah. I was trying that. I was doing that, but I'm off the rip. It got to be off the rip. It got to be off the rip. So
this entire show is completely off the dome.
So today, I share my day today, man. Like I said, I've been digging in the crates. It's
50 years of hip-hop
birthday, man. And I like to say me and hip hop are cousins. I think hip hop officially was, some say 75, some say 76. I was born in 76, so
we'll say 76 too.
We'll say 76 because it sounds good to me.
But it's actually 73 because this year's.
I may have that wrong. I think 76 may be the year disco died, and it's maybe the same year hip hop was officially born. So I'd like to say
we'll say that.
I grew up with it.
Yeah.
Like
Either way,
I really grew up with hip hop, man. I mean, probably the first group that I remember hearing was my big cousin had a UTFO. I think it was early 80s, 1983.
Put on some UTFO.
Roxanne. Made you want a girlfriend named Roxanne. Yeah, probably about 83, 84.
There we go.
LL Cool J. That's it right there. That's that right there. That's where I fell in love right there.
Yeah, that was oh, I don't know. This is their like greatest hits album. This came out in 1996.
Okay, yeah.
So this came out before. If your greatest hits is in 1996, you've been around for a little while.
Been around for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing today, man. Just listening to hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've been doing a lot of that too. Like I told you, I've been trying to listen to more like singers. Like I showed you Sam Henshaw before the show.
Yeah, he sounded dope.
Sam Henshaw, check him out. He's cool. Leon Bridges. Me and my wife like Leon Bridges quite a bit.
What genre is that? What is he?
He's like.
What was that?
Here I'll just play some. He's kind of like.
Other than hip hop, what's your go-to genre?
Other than hip hop in general, well, I really like 80s metal. I was talking about this with my wife the other day. Actually, I was like, I wonder what decade I listen to the most.
Okay, let's go with
decade. Because I listen to a lot of new stuff, but I also like. There's a lot of 80s rap that I like. There's a lot of 80s like Metallica that I like. There's a lot of 80s like hair metal that I like. There's a lot of 80s pop that I like, Wham and stuff.
Oh, that was the shit, yeah.
You know, and like George Michael.
Man.
Which I mean.
Like, I remember that video.
Which is like the same.
I remember, what was it? Fucking MTV, yeah.
Yeah, like I listen to like, I'm pretty sure Faith came, gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. I'm pretty sure that came out in the 80s. So yeah, there's a lot of 80s music. I think 80s might be, I have the widest.
The 80s was a dope.
That I catch stuff from.
80s was a dope scene for music.
Yeah. And there's just a lot about me that, like I wear Jordan 1s all the time. Every day I wear a pair of 1s. They look exactly like they look in 1984.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So there's a lot of stuff that this is Leon Bridges.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a like I catch a lot of music from a lot of genres in the 80s, whereas like more recently I listen to mostly like hip hop. Like I haven't kept up with like recent metal that much, or rock or anything like that.
Is it metal anymore?
Oh, I don't know. And metal is so like there's like 1,000.
Because even hip hop's so commercialized.
Yeah,
now,
well, there's like 1,000 different genres of metal. There's like Norwegian death metal and scream metal and black metal and I don't even know all that. There's 1,000 different kinds of metal.
What they call it back in the day, it was just we had heavy metal.
Yeah.
Then they called it death metal.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so much.
That's all I really remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of music from the 80s that I listen to, but then when me and my wife were talking about it, we pulled up like a 60s playlist and we're like, we like all this, and then a 70s playlist and we're like, man, all these songs are fucking awesome. So I think what's happening is music is just really good, and it's just been really good for a really long time, and like every decade is pretty good. I was letting my wife, well, not letting, I was putting Elvis on for my wife while we were talking about that. She didn't really listen to Elvis that much. She didn't think she did, but then like you play songs and she's like, oh, I know this one. Like, oh, I know this one too. I know. It's like, yeah, dude, like,
well,
Elvis was a big deal, man.
What was that? A couple few years ago when they had that special on the Beatles.
Yeah,
that 2-night special on the Beatles, and I was like, fuck.
Too.
I realized how many fucking Beatles songs I really knew, dog. Like word for word. Like I'm like, damn, I know this shit, man. I know this shit. I know this shit. The fucking Beatles, man. And I've never like
actually listened to
put the Beatles in so I could listen to it, but
you know it.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew the majority.
It's just like
of those
you
songs.
hear it in commercials and in movies. It's like the background in TV shows. Like, you know what I think about is those like those infomercials that would be for like the big like CD collections of like that. I mean, this is in the early 2000s, so they were for old people, and they would be like, listen to all your favorite songs from the 40s, like all your favorites re-released,
like a half
and
hour
re-recorded.
commercial and
Yeah,
shit.
dude, it's
and you
like
laying in the bed
you look
rocking
at the,
to this
yeah,
shit.
dude, you look at the TV guide, and the whole thing is just like commercial. It just tells you there's a 4-hour commercial from like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. They're playing this loop of the same
and
commercial
you watch
over
it and
and
you
over.
keep it on.
Dude, I could here. I'm gonna. This is gonna suck for
you don't turn the channel either. At least I didn't. I'm like, damn.
This isn't gonna be good.
I'm gonna roll a joint and go to sleep to this shit.
This isn't good. This is not gonna be good podcast content. So I'm gonna try to talk, but I'm gonna put on a because these people have recorded them and uploaded them to YouTube. I'm gonna give you a blast from the past, dude. I'm gonna hit you with one of these like old like listen to the. Old school
24 CDs for a penny.
Infomercial. I'm gonna try that. Nostalgia. Let's try the ultimate love song collection commercial.
I think I remember that one.
You probably do, dude.
Celine Dion, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that shit.
Yeah, you remember this?
I did a lot of jail time
you
too,
remember,
though,
you remember
dog.
this commercial? Michael Bolton.
Hell yeah, I was just singing this shit the other morning. Michael McDonald, he can come to the picnic.
This commercial takes me back. I seriously remember it sitting in my bed at like 3 a.m, like watching this Time Life Music presents. Yeah, so you're listening to the podcast. You can't hear any of this. But
that was Big Luther right there.
The secret cut of the podcast where you can hear the stuff we're listening to. That's just for us. You will be able to hear that. I got all that on a hard drive.
Rod Stewart. How old is that motherfucker, man?
How old's Rod Stewart?
Like 100, man?
No.
He's still in concert and shit, ain't he? I think I just seen.
He is 78.
78?
2 CDs for just $26.99. And you would call and you would be like, yeah, you'd have to tell them what you wanted. You'd be like, yeah, I want the Timeless Love song collection
I
CDs.
want that Timeless
and
Love
they'd be like,
shit.
that's $25.99. You give them your credit card number, and they'd show up at your house like a month later.
You done forgot about this shit.
Yeah, that's right. 2 CDs for just $16.99. Now it's like, I pay $13.99 a month for every song that's ever been made.
Shit twice.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Wonder how many people actually.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Like, you're gonna put it in and be like, I fucking hate these songs. Like, I bought them.
You better not skip one song, motherfucker.
Ooh, Lionel Richie.
Got it. Lionel Richie gotta be on one. Everybody loves.
You ever
Lionel
watch it? You ever go on YouTube and just look at? They have compilations of just,
I did not know this.
Commercials.
I did not know that.
Yeah, this is gonna suck for you guys, but I'm gonna put on one of these commercials.
$16.99.
I wonder if I can keep the audio from these commercials. Probably not. I won't. But we'll watch a couple of these commercials. See if you remember any of these. You get the
I sure do.
baking filled pen. And you had to want it so bad, dude, because you had to.
You did want that shit.
You had to pick up your phone and be like, boop 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 boop.
You did
boop,
want
boop.
that shit.
Like, yeah, I want the Betty Crocker pan set like right fucking now. And they'd be like, you better hurry because we're only giving this. And I noticed this even when I was a kid. They would
put
be
the
like,
little timer.
Well, yeah, they'd be like, if you call in the next 2 hours,
it would just start over.
You get this special deal. Yeah, and it starts over. And I'm like, I can call whenever I want and get the special deal. But there's 80-year-old ladies in their house like, I need the special deal. There's only 2 minutes left on the special deal. Can I have it?
On the phone.
Yeah, man.
They didn't order 2 sets.
Or you could, so you had to call and pay, and then you had to mail a check somewhere to pay for the shipping. That's what I'm saying. Like, you had to want stuff so bad back in the day. Like,
yeah. I guess so.
Like, I can't wait to have a kid and try to explain to this child.
You ever wrote a check? I've never wrote a check in my fucking life.
Yeah, because we used to pay our rent with checks. So I've tried to write a check like maybe twice, but I can never figure it out, and I always made my wife do it. I would have to call her and be like, "What do I do?
Where's this
how do
go?
I do this?
Like, what? Ain't I supposed to put a line? Does the line matter? Should I put a line?
Yeah. Do I write anything in the memo?
What's the line?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm the generation they try to teach.
Let's see. I'm gonna go to the most viewed one.
That
SpaghettiOs.
is 90s right
commercials
there,
used to be like, they used to be cool, man. Now ads are like It's like when you're scrolling Instagram and some dude is like, I'm a Instagram influencer and I like this and you should
And
like
I
it
like
too.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, and that's the only commercial. Like, dude, I had SpaghettiOs this morning. They were so good. You should have SpaghettiOs. That's what commercials are. But they used to be like this.
That's some 90s ass shit right there.
Yeah. Zoo books. Did you guys do the Scholastic Book Fair?
Mm-hmm.
That was around when you were a kid. I wonder if that's still around.
Yep. We would. That was a big thing.
Yeah, it was so exciting.
We had this. I still see this school bus riding around, but it was like a mobile library.
Oh yeah.
It would come around, they have the fair and shit. Yeah, that was a big deal for us.
I'm gonna leave this point. I kind of like. Usually we listen to music, but I kind of like. It kind of feels like. This reminds me of like commercials would come on and you would turn to your family and talk to them. Like during the commercials, you would sit there and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because definitely as a kid,
and then the
like,
show,
you'd be like, "Mom, I want that."
Yeah, right. Well, and then the show would come back on and you would keep watching.
Yeah,
and then the commercials would come on and you would bullshit.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like It kind of feels like there's just a.
It
feels like I'm in the early 2000s and there's just a TV on in the background, and we're just kind of. It's kind of doing something for me right now. I'm kind of vibing.
Yeah, I could just sit here and just
it's weird. This is like,
I could just.
This is kind of
good
good
the
background.
The fucking TV's on. Yeah. That is a little nostalgic, right?
Back when these commercials took effort, man. This commercial's about as
commercials now are just fucking weird, man. They're just fucking weird.
Well, they used to be too. Do you remember the Skittles? I think is it Skittles or the berries and cream? You remember that? And dude, I'm about to. Every time my wife says caramel, I think about this commercial that I haven't seen in years. Obviously, with Shaq, and he would be like, "Caramel, can you spell?" Like he was arguing with somebody about how to pronounce caramel, and this kid's like, "It's caramel," and he's like, "Caramel, can you spell?" So every time my wife says caramel, I'm like, "Caramel, can you spell?"
I don't remember this commercial.
You don't remember that? Do you remember these? These Education Connection, these raps?
Oh yeah. The college.
Yeah.
The
Education.
Go to college.
Connection.
Yeah. There was a dude. Her.
Yeah, dude.
She did the little dance at the end and shit. Yeah. I remember them shits. Yeah. She did a little dance and shit. She has black friends. That's what we used to say. Like she got black friends. Look at the haircut. I remember that shit.
Oh, fuck. I don't even remember what I was looking up now.
Damn, that shit was funny as fuck.
The Shaq, the caramel thing. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't remember that commercial.
I almost forgot. Caramel Shaq commercial. Yeah, here we go. Dude, this is going to take me back. I haven't seen this. I've been saying caramel, can you spell? For years.
Well, some say
tomato, but I haven't seen it.
Tomato.
Like this is gonna take me back. Like I haven't actually seen this commercial since it was on TV. I haven't like looked it up.
Shaq done been in.
This is the first time I've looked it up since. Yeah, Shaq's getting his bag.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Caramel, can you spell?
Shaquille. Okay, maybe I do remember it. Maybe I do. Shaquille.
Nestle caramel.
I think that's how I might have fucking said the shit too when I first seen it.
Dude.
I was talking to a dude about Shaq the other
berries
day.
And cream. Was it me? We were talking about Shaq a couple weeks ago. I think we might have been talking about Shaq on that one that got deleted. Berries and cream Starburst. You remember this shit?
I wasn't a Starburst guy.
Yeah, see, commercials always been weird, man.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. That's weird. Have you seen the commercial? And I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna say this. When the chick turns into a mermaid, when she said her bottom gets so like moist and shit, and she turns into a mermaid. Like I'm like, what the fuck, man? We would have never seen no shit like that in the 90s. Look at the mermaid. She said my bottom gets so wet sometimes. She's flopping on the floor. Like, what the fuck is this shit, man?
No, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. I tried girl turning into mermaid commercial.
What is it? I don't even know what it's. I don't even. It's like some wipes or something.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
This top one? Or this one?
It's one of them.
All right, let's try this one. Poise.
That's it, bro. That's it. Come on, man. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
It's because she sneezes and she pees herself a little bit.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dog? I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm laying in the bed and I see that commercial like, goddamn.
All right, I'm going to put music back on. That was a fun little... I don't know if that was fun to listen to at all, but...
Or the commercial with the ladies pooping.
No. Do you remember the... I don't even remember the other podcast, but my wife gets like clips from other podcasts while she scrolls TikTok and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like... I totally forgot what the fuck I was even going to say. Oh, they... I don't want to steal the thing that they were talking about, but I think it was the Joey and Frankie one. I don't even remember what it's called. It's a dude's named Joey and Frankie, but they were talking about old commercials, and they were talking about the Garnier Fructis commercials. You remember those, where the ladies would be like, they'd be like moaning.
Oh yeah.
Like they're having an amazing sexual
were those
experience.
In the 90s?
Yeah, and it's like,
I think those were in the 90s.
Was people's moms were like, I need to get some of that shampoo.
I need to get some of that shit.
I need to get some of that shit.
And I think I
need to get some of that shampoo. Yeah, so commercials used to be fucking weird, man. Doritos commercials used to be really weird. They had that one. I just saw this one on some nostalgic commercial shit, but their fingers get all Dorito powdery, you know. And he's like, "What am What am I supposed to do?" And there's like the hole in the wall.
Yeah, and motherfucker's licking his finger. Dude, I'm like,
it's like a glory hole. He just sticks his finger in there. And he's like, some dude at a computer, and he's like,
who thought that up, dog?
Like it's fucking weird, man.
Whose idea was that? Whose pitch was that?
It's fucking weird.
Let's do a glory hole.
Commercials always been weird, man. That Poise one where she turns into a mermaid, that's not even on the weird scale to me.
I'm like, what the fuck, man? Or like I said, the one with the lady pooping with or no, I think it's like deodorant that you can you can put in your butt crack.
Butt deodorant.
It's a commercial, dog. I don't want to say the name, but it's real.
Like spread it.
You ain't seen that commercial?
No.
She's like holding it up and she's like a deodorant. No. Yep, you can put it in your butt crack. No. I'm like, damn, this is a real commercial.
You know what I've been thinking about a lot? We're watching. There's a new season of Our Planet. That
What's
documentary. It's like a documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
David Attenborough, classic. They made a new season of it, and they're talking about this. Shit's been tripping me out lately because I'm gonna back way up. We started watching this Chris Hemsworth show called Limitless on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Where he's like, the
Thor dude.
Yeah, I guess he did like a genetic test, and he found out that he's probably gonna be prone to Alzheimer's. So now he's trying to figure out what he can do now to be as healthy as possible so that he doesn't have Alzheimer's later.
I think I remember reading about that.
Yeah, so he's doing this show, and it's about like managing stress and having good mental health and all that stuff so that you can have a good, be good your whole life, basically.
Okay.
And he's talking about stress and like your response to stress and stuff, and how stress is the stuff it does to your body is supposed to help you. Like the stress like pumps your body up and it makes you stronger and faster and whatever. But then when you start overthinking it, your body and this is what was tripping me out. Your body does these things like it makes the walls of your blood vessels expand so that like less blood can get through, but there's more cushion if you get hurt. Because like when you're having a panic attack and stuff, your body's like expecting an injury. So your body can do these things like make the walls of your veins bigger so that if you get hurt, there's not as much damage. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm like, I'm not religious, but I'm like, all that just happened.
It's kind of hard to argue the fact.
Yeah, like my body can, like, I'm not in control of that at all, but I get stressed out, and my body can increase the size of the walls of my arteries so that if I take a blow, I don't get hurt as bad. Like, that just happened.
That's where it's hard to argue.
I don't know. And I mean, if it did just happen, that's like amazing.
That's where it's hard.
It's insane.
Argue. That's where it's hard to argue.
Like the human body is so like people spend so much time watching nature documentaries and stuff, myself included. But watch a documentary about humans.
Well, I thought I kind of cracked up you know, because I remember the movie when I was younger, but way back in barber school, we watched a movie, and I'm thinking it was gonna be like, you know, we use like Pivot Point, you know, something, you know, to do with barber school.
Yeah,
cutting hair. The name of the movie, maybe you remember, is Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, is that Will Smith?
Is it Will Smith? Is it Will Smith?
Tripping, or is that? Or am I thinking of the Shark Tale one? Or is it
you might be thinking about Shark Tale, but was it Will Smith though?
It's Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was Chris Rock.
The slap thing.
Yeah. Oh,
now we're getting them confused.
Damn. Yeah, Osmosis Jones, man, it's an animation, but whoa. Like I didn't appreciate it as a kid, but
because it like teaches you about your body, like white blood cells and all that.
Why shit does why?
Yeah, there's that one character that's like a pill.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that, dude.
And the one that really kind of flipped me, where I was like, oh my god, it was electricity, humans and electricity.
Yeah,
how we're conducive to it, where it can kill us, you know, if we get struck by lightning, but the fucking ambulance will come with the defibrillator and bring us back to life with that same electricity.
Everything that's going on in your brain is all electricity, which is weird. It's weird to think that there's electricity inside of you.
It is.
It's weird to think that there's even like bones and shit inside of you, really. So yeah, I've been tripping out about stuff like that.
I'm with it, dog. I'm with it.
So we're watching Our Planet, and like this is another thing where I'm like, and this just happened. Like, okay, so there's these birds, and they travel.
Birds fucking freak me out.
They travel. They go. They fly 1,000 kilometers a day nonstop, right? And they go 65,000 kilometers. Just every year they just go north 65,000 kilometers, because that's when whales are feeding and they're pushing plankton to the top, and then the birds can eat too. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, so birds, one day, like millions of years ago, I guess, these birds were sitting there and they were like, I don't know why, but I need to go 65,000 kilometers that way. And I have no idea why I'm even doing it. Like, how did they know?
That's a whole nother discussion.
And there's probably answers. But dude, that shit is
the doors for a whole nother discussion.
Like, that shit's tripping me out bad lately, because it's just weird to think about. Like, is it like? I think about it I think about it while I'm sitting here sometimes. Like, there used to be.
It trips me out how they can even fucking fly.
Yeah, birds.
And we can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, I sit here a lot, and I'm like, there used to be dinosaurs. Like, this whole place used to just be like there used to be Pangea and one big like jungle, and there was dinosaurs everywhere. And now I'm sitting here playing a PlayStation. Like, how did that happen? How did we make PlayStation? Like, electricity is making fucking Batman appear on my screen, and Batman is doing what I tell him to do with this.
Okay, now you're opening the doors
with
for
this wireless controller. And that, dude, sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, how did any of this happen? So like, I would even understand if I was like just some animal running around in the forest trying to survive. Like, I probably wouldn't be thinking about any of this, but that would make sense, because like that's essentially
a whole different lifestyle. Yeah,
like, we're just animals and like whatever. But how did we figure out how to do this? And like, this is just like, I mean, I don't understand science, I guess, but like, how is any of this possible? Like, how does a fucking PlayStation work? It's just all these like circuits. You ever look at the inside of that thing?
Yeah,
it's just all these circuits and
it's
fans,
discouraging.
And there's like ribbons and stuff connected.
It's discouraging.
I'm like, somehow this turns into me losing at Madden
from against a motherfucker.
Yeah, some
in
dude
Singapore.
Some dude in Korea just beat my ass in Madden because this exists. It's like, how is this possible?
Like I said, and like I believe, the rapid growth in technology from Atari to where we are now, or just technology all the way around. The shit we know they're doing, the shit we don't know they're doing. If you want to put aliens back on the table, let's do it.
Aliens was our lost episode, so that might be a good segue back into the episode that we lost.
You wanna. The American people want to know, like, our trillions of dollars debt. Like, who the fuck are we in debt to? Is it them?
Well, why would they want our money?
Is
our money don't mean shit to them?
Maybe it's not necessarily money.
Yeah.
Maybe it's us. Maybe we are the currency.
Yeah, I don't know.
disappearing people all the time.
Well, it just makes aliens even more weird because I'm sitting here like, it's so insane that all of this happened.
Have they let us borrow their technology?
And then, like, for it to happen more than once,
or their old technology,
that kind of make it like me thinking about all this shit kind of makes me believe in aliens less. Because I'm like, all this is it's such a crazy like set of circumstances. Like this happened more than once.
Well, yeah, that's what they say.
And it's like nobody's ever gonna know because like
then there's what I mean.
Is there
what we say agnostic?
Yeah.
What's the word agnostic?
Yeah, like you can't prove it either way. And it's like maybe God made aliens too. So aliens existing doesn't necessarily mean God's not real, right?
Okay. So you want to put that on the table? I said this: are the aliens angels?
I don't know. That's some ancient alien stuff.
Are they the angels? You know, the way people have said they've seen them in many different forms, from 2 feet high to 10 feet high. You know, angels, you know, I'm sure, you know, they can shapeshift some way, somehow. You know, I mean.
Well, isn't it like angels, like true form is like people can't look at it or their like heads explode.
Right. It'll kill you.
Yeah. So they have to shapeshift.
So they have to come.
And maybe they shapeshift into scary little alien people. Just to fuck with us, I guess.
To fuck with us.
Just so that they know.
That's
that
what
we know they're different.
That's what I put on the table. Are the aliens really?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because nobody's ever been killed by one. Even the people that say they've been abducted.
Well, maybe the ones that get abducted and killed just never come back.
Or do they keep them and put them to work? Because they say, you know,
people are hard workers.
There's people that think we're their projects and we're we're their workers.
Yeah, see, I almost would believe
we're their cattle.
I would almost buy into like we're some weird science experiment, and like aliens are actually what made us. But then still, like, who made the aliens? You know, like there's always has to be like something that started it.
Okay, then there's that.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I'm piggybacking on a conversation that you people listening never even heard, but like the government basically, some guy that says he worked for the government at some point basically said, yeah, aliens are real and nobody gives a shit because it's like
nobody gave a shit.
Like, duh, but like if aliens were real, people were kind of freaked out about it because like if aliens are real, that means God's not real, and it's like not necessarily. Because couldn't God have made more than one shit?
You know, he's God.
Yeah, he can make whatever he wants, dude. Let him be God to more than one place, and maybe there's more than one of them, and maybe like. I don't know. I saw some stuff about this is kind of freaking me out too. I saw some stuff about how the universe is infinite.
Never
like
ending.
There's no because it's expanding still, and they think it's expanding faster, like it's accelerating.
So it's birthing.
So like it's always going to get faster and faster and faster
and
faster and faster.
On and on and on
and
on and on.
And it's like, what does that mean for me?
Infinite. Well, infinity. Yeah, never. Yeah. Damn. Whew. Ooh, that's man.
Can't even comprehend it.
You can't wrap your
mind.
Well,
so then it gets to the point where it's so hard to comprehend that it's like there's no point even thinking about it. There's no point even trying to understand like what even is like when you say the universe. What does that even mean?
Okay. And I watched the video this morning, and I won't I'm just gonna open the doors for it.
Maybe I should watch that. Neil deGrasse
I'll send it to you later, and I'll let you chew on it for a little while, but kind of lost my train of thought there. I was thinking so hard. What was we talking about?
The universe. Well, I like when someone says the word the universe, like what does that mean to you?
Okay, the universe.
What do you
universe.
Okay. Like, what do you picture in your head?
About. Words that are not mentioned in the Bible. Universe isn't one. Was another one. And I don't even want to say the two words, but it was a flat Earth video that made a lot of sense. You know, it was just there was just some shit, you know, that he didn't say. He didn't say space. He didn't say stars. There's, you know what I mean. None of that shit was ever. He didn't say moon. He
didn't really discover that stuff till after the Bible.
He never talked about any other planets. You know, because if he's God, he made them. The sun isn't as far away as we think. You know what I mean? He placed them on Earth. You know what I mean? North, true north would have to be up. North Pole would have, it would all have to be up. true south, we would all have to go down. So what the fuck does north, south, east, west really mean? So with that being said, universe, space, stars.
Yeah.
It confirms maybe just a little bit for me that I don't even believe we can get off Earth. So the universe, I don't know where I'm at with. I don't know. I think maybe I need to read upon it a little more, research a little more, but I just don't know where I'm at with the universe.
Yeah.
How it's never ending. Like
it's weird.
That is weird.
It's just weird.
It just blows my mind.
I think it's supposed to.
I mean, I think it was the 40s, early 40s, maybe before, after, or during the Hiroshima testing. They were sending rockets into the sky, and they were bouncing off. What was it? Admiral Richard Byrd. I think I got the name right. Richard Byrd, who was the real Indiana Jones. He was the guy that they portrayed in the movie Indiana Jones.
I didn't know there was a real Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Admiral Richard Byrd. I think it's Richard Byrd. Yeah, look him up. Like, this dude was like a major motherfucker. He was like a modern day explorer in the 40s. I think it was the 40s. Well, if you listen to that, if you read about that guy and listen to that guy, and I send you the video that I'm gonna send you tonight.
Yeah, send me that.
Then we'll discuss. We'll discuss that further. About.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I think we can go to space for sure.
You think?
Yeah.
They gotta prove.
I think we have a really good handle on like where the sun is at and stuff. Because that thing I sent you about like how America's Stonehenge like perfectly lines up with the Stonehenge in Europe. That only works if the Earth is round.
I see the logic in it, but light doesn't bend.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
So that, you know what I mean. I see the logic in. I was like, but light doesn't bend.
Yeah, so we're on different sides of the fence on that issue. But like, I'm convinced that they've convinced me enough that space. I've seen enough.
The only way light will bend is if it's hitting the firmament. That's what.
Well, I mean, light bends when it hits water. Like when you put like a spoon in a cup of water, you see how you know how so light bends all the time.
That far though, is it possible?
I mean,
if we're talking,
the Earth is a big place, man. If the cup of water was the size of the Earth, it'd probably bend a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that video.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
gonna look at that one again.
Yeah, I'm always down to get fucked up with the truth. But
which is why and I always wondered, rainbows. What do you need to make a rainbow?
Saw a really nice rainbow today. Actually.
Yeah, the firmament, man. That was the fucking firmament. Yeah, that's the glass.
All you need is just.
And maybe they made a hole in it. Maybe they did make a hole in it. Maybe they were successful back in the 40s and 50s. Maybe they did make a hole.
Well, they said that Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket probably punched a hole in the
Maybe
atmosphere.
It did. Maybe they have by now.
Yeah.
Which is why they got a hair up their ass and trying to get to the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Which.
Well, I think they're talking about the moon again just because China is.
Yeah, here we go with that again. Yeah.
I think it's a Cold War situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been tripping out a lot about stuff like that. Like they just animals just know. And there's these bees that they're like, oh, we need to find a new place to live or whatever. And they would go look at trees and like 4 of them would fly in, and then they have to agree that it's the right tree to move in. And I'm like, how do they agree? Like, how do they know that they all agree with it? They can't talk. Like, how do they know?
And and what's so funny about it is we think animals are dumb.
Yeah. Well, and then they're like, it's like apartment shopping. So they find this hole in the tree, and they're like, apparently all 4 of these bees agree, like, yeah, this is a good tree to move into. So however they do that. And then they fly back to the colony. And then in order for the colony to find them, the bees have to touch one of the bees that went there. So these 4 bees have to touch every other bee in the colony. And it only takes them a half hour.
They kick off electricity too.
Yeah. It only takes them a half hour to do it. There's like 30,000 bees or something, and it takes them a half hour. And I'm like, if you put 30,000 people in a room and you were like, all 30,000 of you need to touch this dude, it would take them more than a half hour to figure it out.
Oh, fuck.
For sure. But these bees are just like, they just line up. They're just like,
did some amazing fucking shit.
Yeah. And then they just go down and touch all of them. And then after they touch all of them, somehow they all know where to go and they all just fly there.
Well, I got an old guy, client of mine. he used to live around the corner from our old shop, right?
Yeah.
And he's like on the board of like the neighborhood that we live, like Irvingdale. We live in Irvingdale, right?
Sure,
You've been to my house before.
Yeah.
You know that park down there, and you can tell where it used to be a pond. Has the tree in the middle. Well, I asked him about it. They're doing some work on it, so I asked him about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, that used to be a watering hole all the way back, in the 1800s." Said they cleared all the buffalo out of Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? But he said if you let those buffalo run wild in that part of Nebraska again, they will always find their way back to that pond.
That's great, and it's like
still till this day.
It's like how?
Like what?
How?
That's crazy. That's wild as fuck.
Yeah, how?
I mean, think back when there was no trees. It was just they would always find their way to that watering hole.
They just know. It's like there's these birds that hatch and they just have to immediately just run to the ocean. And they're just like, they're dodging shit and they're looking out for predators and stuff. And I'm like, how do they know they're supposed to do that?
And then here we are. It takes us, 9 months to a year to walk?
Yeah. It's like we wouldn't know what to do. Like if you...
humans
like
don't
this
know
would be
shit
this would be
for
like
the first for probably 10 years of their life.
This would be a super fucked up experiment. But like if you took one of those birds and put it in a room by itself, like it would figure out how to do all the bird shit. It'd figure out how to fly.
Oh, yeah, off top.
Like those birds figure out how to fly and stuff on their own. Like they can swim right out of the egg. Like this would be a fucked up experiment that no one should ever do. But if you put a kid in a room, a baby, and you just didn't teach it anything ever, like it wouldn't be able to do anything.
Nothing.
Animals just figure it out.
Right now. Ugh. Ooh.
It's weird. It's weird to me. And animals are weird anyway.
That's
like,
just, I mean.
I look at my dogs all the time and I'm like, why do you, I think I've said this before, but I'm like, why do you live here? Like you're animals. You can do anything you want to do. Like you could.
Some have been so domesticated though.
Yeah, well,
like the horse, bro. The horse is from fucking. It's not even from America. It's from India. It's been. It used to be massive fucking beasts. And they just been like stepped on and cooked down into what they are now, to where they're so docile to fucking humans.
It's all weird to me, dude. I look at especially the lab. I'm like, you could rip my throat out at
any time,
any moment,
and do serious damage to me.
Yeah.
Because you're built that way.
Yeah, but he just doesn't. He just lays around and.
But if the lights went off, would you be able to follow your dog? Would he lead you to safety?
I don't know. Probably not.
Nah, because they're so domesticated and docile.
Kind of a wuss.
Right. He'd probably lead you right into danger and shit.
Probably,
Here they are.
Probably wouldn't do shit. I mean, he'd probably be gone. I'd be like, all right,
would they know though?
Lead us out of here, and he'd be like, Choop.
Would they know?
I don't know. He's stupid.
You'll have to go find a herd of buffalo.
He's stupid.
And follow them motherfuckers.
I don't know. And it's just like,
I mean, that's what the Native Americans did back in the day. They would follow herds of the deer, the buffalo, the bear.
That makes sense.
They would follow
They're following
them.
their food. But how do the buffaloes know where to go? I mean, that's like the Native Americans doing it. That's like people getting together and being like, hey, we should follow these buffalo because they're our food source, and if we follow them, we'll always have food. And another guy goes, yeah, okay. Like animals can't have a conversation like that.
Like they knew when storms and shit was coming.
Yeah, and they just all do the same shit, and they're just like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. And then there were these locusts too that migrate super far, and they like swarm all over like Asia and stuff.
They'll black your shit out. You know what? I don't. What are the other fucking things? They're cicadas, whatever the fuck. I never heard about those.
Yeah,
it was always a locust growing up, and like I remember seeing patches of fucking locusts. Like we'd all have to run in the house and shit. I don't see that anymore. No. What I also don't see anymore, and if anybody remembers this, growing up in the 70s and the 80s, where they would like announce it like in school sometimes. We had this channel. It was cable linking channel 10 or some shit, where they would do like announcements and shit. You could listen to it like a school was gonna be canceled or some shit. And they would announce when these trucks would come through the hood, and they would spray shit. They would lower these fucking arms, man, and it would be from like one side of the street on the sidewalk all the way to the other side of the street on the sidewalk, and they would just spray this shit in the hood. Said they were getting rid of the locusts and mosquitoes and shit.
Well, they did, I guess. Yeah, that shit was bad for you.
Yeah. I think we just talked about that the other day. I was like, man, y'all remember when they used to come to the hood in the summertime, and spray for the bugs and shit. They
Yeah, I
said.
saw videos of kids like out like getting sprayed by it and shit.
Yeah. Only in our neighborhood though.
Mm,
Only in our neighborhood.
weird.
Yeah, it was. That was some fucked up shit.
Weird. Yeah, there's these locusts and they go all the way from Africa all over Asia and stuff. And my wife was like,
What do locusts do? Like what's
they just eat shit.
tear your shit up?
Yeah.
Do they do damage?
I don't know, but it's like there's these huge swarms, and my wife was like, "That's like the plague in the Bible," and I was like, "That's probably what the plague in the Bible was."
Locusts.
Like dudes that wrote the Bible saw these locusts
Yeah.
migrating, and they're like, they have no other explanation other than like, I don't know what happened, but God's fucking pissed about it. And these locusts are obviously some kind of punishment from God. Like that's all they knew, but like they were just migrating. So I'm like, these locust things, that probably is the locust plague from the Bible.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
so you
like-
wanted something. You wanted
Like
something.
it looked like they
like
were
okay.
they were blocking out the sun.
Maybe that's why old dude told me, because I recited something, and he got so mad at me that he called my grandma on me.
That's pretty mad.
And he said, and it blew me away because I thought I was like being a good boy to old dude, you know what I mean? Giving him a little piece of the Bible, some scripture, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting him know, young buck know some scripture. And he said, you can't always take it so literal. It's not so black and white. And he walked out on me. So maybe that's the locust thing.
Well, I mean, like the Bible is God's word, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, people wrote it.
Was it really a plague, or was it just
People
something
wrote it.
they've never fucking seen before?
Yeah, was it just locusts showed up once a year and fucked everything up? And
First
ate
time
all their crops?
them seeing that.
Well, yeah, the first time they saw it, and like I said, the locusts are literally blocking out the sun.
And what would have it looked like to them back then?
It would have been insane, and I bet there was
Fucking
way
crazy.
more locusts probably.
Fucking
'cause
crazy.
We
Right.
fuck up the environment so
Right,
bad that I'm
right,
sure there was
right.
way more of them. But it's like there was like 300 billion locusts or something crazy like that.
That's a fucking cloud.
I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 billion people on the earth.
That's a cloud.
Yeah.
That's a dust storm, though. That's a tornado, bro. That's a hurricane. Shit, that's probably
there's
what it looked like.
8 billion people in the world.
8 billion, and then how many locusts?
It was like 300 billion.
Yeah, that's a hurricane damn near.
Yeah,
probably
it
looked
was
like.
fucking crazy.
Probably took out.
They
the
look
whole,
huge. They're like this big. Like
and they were probably bigger.
Yeah, they were probably bigger. And they were probably like wiping out crops.
And they're, oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're probably like, we're getting
Okay,
punished.
plague.
We're getting
Okay,
punished now for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe nobody got sick. It was the plague
Yep.
to their crops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, the plague was that like the bubonic plague and shit. That was I'm talking about the what did God do? Like 5 plagues or some shit.
Mm.
Like I don't know. The locust swarm is probably like.
You know, I was.
And the Noah's Ark thing, like the whole world flooded. How big did they think the world was? Because if they thought the world was flat and that like everything I can see, that's the whole world, and there's one big flood, they're like, holy shit, the whole world is flooded. But really, it was just one little part. So like Noah's Ark and stuff, the flood, it's probably just the Tigris and Euphrates flooded one time.
It came together
Yeah.
because it did at one point.
Yeah. The let me see.
Did you see those rivers? Did you ever?
Yeah, I was
get
about to say the I feel like the Helmand River is one of them.
So
I
you
don't
walked
remember.
some ancient fucking ground when you were over there. Then
Yeah, there were seriously like ruins, like old like fort ruins and stuff that were like probably 1,000 years old.
wow,
Cause like Alexander the Great and shit
Right.
ran through all that.
right?
So there's just these like crumbled ass like,
Napoleon.
they used to be like, you could tell they used to be these big towers, but now they're just like crumbled and shit.
Damn.
But yeah,
Was it what you call it? Where you guys can't fight. What do you call that? Where they can't fire at you, you can't fire at them. Were those places
there was no-
protected?
I mean there was no places like that. in
They didn't give a
Afghanistan.
fuck.
Well, yeah, because that was the thing about Afghanistan is like they would blend in, you know. Like 1 minute everything's fine, and then the next minute somebody's shooting at you, but you don't know who, and then they put the gun down and they're just walking around with everybody else. So it's like there wasn't really any safe, you know.
So they would use those ancient ruins.
It was
for the
all
fucking-
pretty unsafe. Let's see. I like this song. You see that thing I sent you about Lil Wayne hasn't written shit down in like 20 years. I didn't know that.
Some motherfuckers are just freaks of nature in their industry, man. Jay-Z, they say he doesn't write, but I'm just not a Jay-Z fan. You know what I mean? But
yeah, we've talked
a
about
lot of his raps, man, you know, he took from Big, man. A lot of his shit he took from Big.
Really?
A lot of his shit.
I haven't even listened to enough of his shit to even
listen to Big and listen to Jay. You're gonna be like, oh man. Hooks, ad libs, rhymes,
figure out if
cadences, melodies. He took a lot of big shit.
Trying to figure out what the Tigris and Euphrates are now.
Shit, dry.
Oh, the Tigris is still the Tigris. Did they not change the name? I thought they had changed the names of them, but I guess not. Maybe. I guess the Tigris River is drying up.
Yeah.
By the way,
dry as a fucking bone, and that's scripture.
Yeah, but the Helmand it's not one of those rivers, I guess, but it has some kind of ancient importance, I think. It's big.
Yeah, I'm assuming it does. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
probably like a fucking ocean.
Yeah, so I've been in the. Nah, it's not that big.
No,
it's long mostly.
Just long.
Yeah.
No, that's the Euphrates. It goes all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
One of them goes all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I ain't
even talking about that.
No Bible thumper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I read it and shit. Like, but I can't tell you like.
There's good lessons in there.
Great lessons.
But that's what it is. It's. I mean, I've talked about this before too. It's. Like they didn't used to have laws. It used to be the Bible told you what
just
to
be
do.
Cool. Just be the fuck good.
Yeah.
Don't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I'm more on the commandments than as the rule. But the Bible, I remember the stories. I have to tell it, because I remember. I can't tell you chapters and
right. And the stories are what's important because the stories is what you remember when you're like, I need to do the right thing or I need to remember not to do this or whatever. The story is what you remember, not like a law or whatever. So they told stories to make sure that people knew how to act and like they turned into the Bible. And that's kind of like now that everybody can read, that's kind of where one of my problems with modern religion comes in. Because I don't need to go to church on Sunday and have somebody read the Bible to me anymore.
No,
because I can read it. But like churches and stuff only started because there's just one dude in the village that could read, and he read everybody the Bible. And then now those are preachers. But like I can read the Bible by myself, and I can make my own conclusions about it. And if I need some kind of guidance or whatever, like I can find it from somebody. But like I don't have to go to church on Sunday and have somebody tell me how to like what the Bible means or whatever. I can read it.
I think you can even not read the Bible and just be the fuck cool.
I mean, that's the best. That's what I do.
I mean,
and like, if one day somebody proves to me that God is real, cool. If someday somebody proves to me that God's not real, I mean, like, cool. Like,
hey, what all right,
yeah.
But yeah, I ain't gotta. The church thing, man,
well, I just don't think God would care if you go to church or not.
No. And that's another thing I was gonna say about words not mentioned in the Bible. Church is one of them. That's never mentioned in the Bible. Neither is Catholicism. Neither is Baptist. Neither is Methodist. Neither is.
Well, and those are all just different like ways of interpreting the same thing.
All the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's like we interpret it this way, and then you interpret it that way because that's how I told you to interpret it. It's like maybe like let me just read it.
It's all gangbanging. It's gangbanging.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really
is gangbanging. Y'all Bloods and Crips.
It really is.
Y'all Bloods and Crips to me. And anymore, man.
Yeah. Well, especially like, I mean, like Christianity versus Islam, and then Islam versus Judaism. It's like it's all this. To me, it sounds like all the same shit. Honestly,
it is. You're all talking about the same motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're all talking about the same places.
And it's just like, well, I don't recognize your motherfucker as the main motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it all comes down to is
okay, because Mary,
like I don't
you know what I mean? Where does she come?
I don't recognize Jesus because I recognize Muhammad. And it's like, well, I don't recognize Muhammad because I recognize Jesus. And it's like, maybe they were both. They could have both.
They could have been brothers. They could have been cool. They could have been cousins. Like, you don't know.
I mean, God could have sent 2-3 people.
This shit has been watered down so much throughout time.
Yeah, and maybe those stories are all about the same dude. At this point, like who even knows? Maybe they're all the same guy. Not to like, I mean, I don't want to disrespect
Not at all.
thinks or anything.
Not at all, but broaden your spectrum a little more.
I don't know
today.
what's right and what's wrong, but it's like these stories are thousands of years old. And it's like maybe they've changed a little bit, and maybe all of this is all talking about the same thing. And maybe there is only one right answer, and maybe everybody's all talking about the same right answer. They're just arguing about.
I can't remember what article I was reading an article the other day, and I even wrote it down. It said 2 things can be right at the same time. I really had to sit there and chew on that.
Yeah.
I was like, and I was trying to think of scenarios, and I was like, yeah, okay. But now I'm trying to read. I'm going to try to read through a little bit more. It's like 2 things can be right at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about it.
Yeah.
I have yet for it to hit me in my face.
Yeah, well, there it is. There's your lesson for this week is 2 things can be right at the same time. Sometimes stuff is mutually exclusive, but sometimes it's not.
It's rare.
2 things can be right, man.
It's going to be very rare.
And it's like, I mean, religion is like the same as arguing with anybody else. It's like pretty often you find out that you're talking about the same thing. You guys just aren't talking about it the same way. Like everybody in the room wants the same thing to happen. Like you're disagreeing with your wife.
Are you gonna hurt? Are you really gonna hurt me because I'm this?
Yeah, well, even like you're disagreeing with your wife about something. It's like you guys both want the same thing. You're just taking like slightly different routes to get there, and you guys could both be right. You know, sometimes there's not really a right answer.
Well, we see a lot of,
and it's like your wife, you're fighting with your mom or something. Like, how often do you like eventually find out like, oh, okay, this wasn't actually that big of a deal.
We're going for the same thing.
Yeah, like all the time.
We're on each other's team.
All the time. Like, oh, wait. Oh, hold on. I think we're just misunderstanding each other here.
We're on each other's team.
And like most of the time you are.
Humans.
And especially religion. Like all religions talk about wanting the world to be a better place and wanting people to do good.
Treat your neighbor.
Yeah,
don't kill. Don't steal. Like, yo, like, ain't you cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Like, I have no problem with that.
Nah, but
like those are all good. Those are all good things to like. I don't know, man. Like I don't think God would be cool with you killing somebody in His name.
Or one of my biggest things are these $1 million and $1 billion preachers living in 16 million, 25 million, $50 million homes with
that's just
$20 million fucking jets.
The church owns it. It's not theirs. The church owns it.
And I could be wrong on this, but why are they tax exempt?
Yeah, I don't know. Catholicism especially drives me crazy just because like.
Well, it created a racket out of it.
Well, I mean, not personally, but like I've been dealing with Catholicism a lot lately, and it's like especially like in the Mexican culture, like Catholicism is big. A lot of them are Catholics, and it's like there's just so much guilt involved in being Catholic and stuff. And sometimes I talk to my wife about it, and I'm like, the only reason you're Catholic is because motherfucking the conquistadors came over from Spain and made everybody in Mexico Catholic. Like, if that didn't happen, none of you would be Catholic.
None of you.
And nobody would be feeling guilty about not going to church, and it wouldn't matter.
That's fact right
but
there.
But because people from here, I mean, this is all Christianity. Like, this happened all over the world, which is bad, but like crusading was bad. And like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You shouldn't be like killing people and like, if you don't want to convert, I'm going to kill you. Like, that's not what God wants. I'm 100% sure that's not what God wants.
Positive. I'm 1,000,000%.
Yeah, but it's like now like millions of people.
Well, they kind of like throw their people away and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm like,
and it's like millions of people in Mexico now are like giving a bunch of their money to the Catholic Church and feeling guilty about not going to church and having dreams about going to hell because they had a bad thought or whatever.
Another thing in the Bible, he never asked. He ain't asked. Nowhere in it anywhere does it say, "Give me your money."
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say that.
Yeah. So it's like because
your money means nothing.
Because these crusades happened hundreds of years ago, like millions of people in Mexico are sitting around feeling bad about not going to church.
Tossed around.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's just.
Yeah, that's
it's crazy to me how willing people are to like literally not even like kill somebody, but just like literally like cut somebody.
Write them off.
Like there's
cut
people.
Them off.
There's people who, if they found out, if I just said like, yeah, I'm not really sure about I'm not really sure if there's a God or not. Like that would be enough for them to never speak to me ever again.
You better not bring her over here ever again.
Yeah.
yeah, that type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like people hearing me say like, yeah, I'm not really sure if there's a God. Like for some people that's enough for me to never be around anymore. Not like kill me, but like
just cut you
stop
off.
inviting me to the barbecue.
Won't talk to you.
Yeah.
Won't even look at you in the grocery store anymore. Yeah.
And it's like I just don't care. Like I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're not. I don't care if you like straight up don't believe in God. I probably just don't want to talk about it that much. Except with you right here, but that's what these chairs and these microphones are for.
Yeah, this is up in the air. This is up in the air conversations
like this.
No, not on this side or that side. This is just an up in the air conversation.
Yeah. But normally I really don't want to talk about it because it's like the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to have an opinion of me because of it. Like if I'm not religious enough for you or if I'm too religious enough for you or whatever, like it's going to change the way you feel about me.
One way or the other.
It's one of those questions that just changes the way you feel about somebody.
So in public, and somebody says, God bless you, where you at with it?
I mean, I don't care. But some people that's like offensive. Like, I don't believe in God and I don't want you to say that. But I don't care. Like, I say bless you. I'm not religious, but I say bless you when somebody sneezes just because it's like, it's perceived as the polite thing to do for me. But I mean, some people be pissed about that. Like, I don't believe in God.
Had a baby heart attack, motherfucker, and you didn't know it. Yeah, that's basically what a sneeze is. You know what I mean? A sneeze can damn near kill you.
Well, I saw a thing about a dude like blowing his throat out or something.
Sneeze can fuck you up.
They come out at over 100 miles an hour.
Can fuck you up, yo.
Learned that on TikTok.
Yeah, bless you, bless your life, man.
Yeah. Anyways, we don't need to start. We're out of time. We don't got to start ranting about religion. We've talked about religion, and I don't even want to rant. Like I have no problem with religious people. It's just like
not at all.
Like it's like
just don't make me feel guilty for not wanting to discuss it with you. I may even know more than your fucking ass.
Well, I don't want you to try to convince me to come to church. Like that's where it's always
that's
like
really a deal breaker right there.
Go to church.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like
I'm
gonna be honest. I haven't had a conversation like that anywhere in a long time.
I had that experience. I don't know if we talked about my little experience.
Yeah, we did. I think we talked about it on the show too. But that shit was weird.
That just got weird, man.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since I had anybody like trying to get me to go to church.
It was a fucking swinger convention,
thankfully,
bro.
But like I don't really like that. It's like if we have a conversation and you find out that you're more religious than me, like it's gonna change the way you feel about me. It just is, and that's
the bass player in the band. Dog he was a pretty motherfucker, man. I think he was ex-Navy, man, and he used to play his bass like way up here, like on his chest and his stomach. And used to wear the little tight little skinny jeans. This is when the skinny jeans was like hot, man. And this motherfucker be up there strumming that bass, dick first. Just dick out, dog. And I'm like, damn, man, he wore these white jeans and turned went down like this motherfucker right here. He was fucking everybody in the front row, man. I was like, man, I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Weird.
Drug addict dude came in one day, you know, and I'm like, I don't judge, you know what I'm saying? Dude's in church, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had a bunch of bags and a bunch of magazines, just making just all kinds of noise.
Oh my God.
And the dude, speaking of the floods, the dude was talking about the floods came and it wiped out the crops and it wiped out the this. And the dude said, even the tomatoes, man, it took everything in me, man. I think I busted a blood vessel on my forehead trying not to, you know, and then everybody had to get down, you know, and crawl to the altar type thing, right?
Oh, that's weird.
Well,
yeah, I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah, it was by choice. I didn't do it. I never did that shit, right? So this dude comes crawling down the fucking aisle, man, from the way back. I was like and they fucking kicked him out.
Why do you have to crawl, man? Yeah, see, and then
they fucking kicked him out. That might have been my last time in that building.
Yeah.
They fucking kicked him out, man. I'm like, why would y'all put my man out? I mean, he was here. And he obviously, you know, he knew what you was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's more than you can say for most
people. You know
what
I'm saying?
Most people aren't in here right now. Like, let's not fool ourselves.
You know what I'm saying? And some of these motherfuckers in the front, shit. Yeah, that really rubbed me wrong. Like, how y'all gonna put the dude? Man, that's fucked up.
The religion thing, it's like, it just changes how people think about you. As soon as it's like the same as like your political leaning. Like as soon as people find out you're a Trumper,
that not a new or though? I mean, can we say Republican and Democrats are new religions?
Yeah, it's like people get so personal. And it's like It's like if you say the wrong thing, you're gonna change the way somebody feels about you forever, and you don't know what the wrong thing is. And like that's honestly not to like I'm gonna go on a thing here, but like when people find out you've been to Afghanistan, they like to ask this question, like, "Oh, have you ever killed anybody?" And it's like that feels like a trap question to me because it's like I mean, like you know the answer, and um, I don't know. It's like no matter how you answer it, it's gonna change the way somebody views you because it's like they're either asking because they think it's scary and like if you did kill somebody that's going to make them not like you anymore, or if like if they've been playing Call of Duty their whole life and they're like, "Oh, did you ever kill anybody?" and you say no, like they're not going to think you're as cool or something. So there's like this pressure to like make people think you've killed somebody or something, and it's like it's just weird. And it's like a weird question, it's a loaded question, and it's like that's how I feel about like religion and political leaning and stuff is it's like
that's a different. That's
like no matter what my answer is, your opinion of me changes from here out. Like you're either disappointed because I'm not as cool as you thought cool as you thought I was, or you're scared because you like didn't think I was capable of that, and you know now that I don't know. It just feels like a trap, man. It's like why people anybody who asks questions like that, they have some kind of motive. Like why not even that one, but like why do you
I was waiting for you to get to that.
Like why do you want to know how religious I am? Because you're going to get on your soapbox about how I'm not religious enough or how I'm too religious, or like why do you want to know who I voted for? I didn't ask you who you voted for.
Ask me that question.
I mean, like you want to know for some reason. There's a reason that you want to know. Like you want
You could have been a war protester and you try to walk me down a fucking tunnel.
Yeah, like you want this.
Yeah.
Like you want this information for some reason. Like you ask a direct question like that. Like
what? And say I give it to you.
What religion are you? Who'd you vote for? Have you ever killed anybody? Like I don't know. You probably get shit like that sometimes.
All the time. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you. All the like if I give you this information.
Yeah.
And I've never displayed this kind of behavior to you.
Yeah.
And I give you this information. Probably never gonna come back around me again.
Well, it's like if I didn't know you went to jail and stuff, and then like today I found out and I was like, oh, what'd Damon do? And somebody told me, I'd be like, yeah, Damon wouldn't do that. Like I don't think he would do that. Like I don't think he's capable of that.
I've done a good job.
Right. And it's like I don't know. It's just like people just don't need to know stuff sometimes, you know. And it's like just because someone is in the military doesn't mean you got to ask them if they killed anybody. And if they did, they're not really gonna like that question like at all. Like I mean, worst case scenario, you're gonna trigger.
Is that one of the most offensive that you can?
Yeah,
be
people
asked?
People hardly ever do. Like people have only ever asked me to do that to my face. Like
that's
twice.
Not one.
Like people know that it's not something that, and the types of people that ask it, like for real, are like never mind. I'm not even. I'll tell you it when we go.
All right. I'm gonna remind you too.
Yeah, like I'm not even gonna try. Like that's. I'm gonna try to run for mayor someday. And I'm not really. I'm not interested. That like mayor or governor or some shit like that would be the worst fucking job. I will never try to get into public office at all. But like, anytime I'm about to get into like painting people with a broad brush, like I'm gonna describe a group of people, like I'm probably just not gonna do it.
Today.
I'll just talk to you about it off camera. Like, well, not even today. Like, I seriously like it's super hard to say without probably saying it the wrong way. Like, because like anytime you're about to be like, oh, they're like this, then somebody who is like that is like, well, I'm like that, and I would never ask you that or whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off on a whole thing. See, like I said at the beginning, this is all off the dome freestyle. I don't know if you could tell, but we went on some wild. A lot of our episodes like that have been like that lately. Yeah, I like
off the rip, man.
I like those a lot. Yeah.
You gotta be off the rip.
I like the ones where when I'm writing the description, I can't remember what we talked about because those are the ones that I listen to again.
Right.
Like I listen to it again to remember what we talked about, and I'm like, that was a fucking good episode. I think I'm gonna listen to this later this week, and I'm gonna be like, that was a good episode. I'm gonna give myself a self high five, editing Tom. But yeah, that's all the time we got. We went a little long because I got on my weird soapbox about church and stuff. I have no problem with people that go to church, like church.
Not at all.
Church as an institution, I have an issue with the idea of it at this point in time. Because I think if you want to be,
I think it's overrated and outdated.
Yeah, it's outdated for sure.
That's all I can give you.
It's outdated
without giving you a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
It's overrated.
And I don't want to make anybody feel bad about it, but it's like
no. If it works for you, please do.
Exactly. Like I just don't think you should give the Catholic Church all your money. And there's some church, and I mean some of them aren't like this, but I know for sure there are
some of these fucking churches, bro.
Yeah, and I
ain't none of them falling apart.
Maybe none of them are maybe none of them around here are like this, but I know for sure that there are churches where if you don't give them like all of your spare money, you're like shunned.
What is it, 10%, some shit like that?
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't even know, but they like if they expect money from you, like that's a problem for me. You know, like if you got some extra cheese that month and you're like, you know what, you do a lot for me, I'll help you get a new roof, something like that. Like I got it. But it's every single week. Every week, and if you don't give something, somebody's
then when you find out, you know, I got a little bread in my pocket.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to give more than the
next. Well, and some of them even keep track of how much you. Personally give.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, if they're keeping track of how much you give, if they're making you feel bad for not giving money, if they expect a certain amount of money every week, like those are all big problems. Those are huge red flags for me. That's why I don't go to church.
I don't know the name of it, but it's south of town here. And it's gotten massive throughout the years. But they have a school on how to teach you how to give to the church.
You got to go to class to learn how to give money away
to the church.
Yeah. So and like I said, it's totally different if it's like we're a super low budget operation. We're a tiny church. Our roof is collapsing, and we need money for a new roof. And if you find it in your hearts to donate some money to give us a new roof so that we can keep doing this service every Sunday, we would sure appreciate it. Like if it was like that, I got it. But I don't
think I've ever seen a church like that.
But it's not like that. It's like we need $10,000 because the gold that our roof is made out of is getting a little smudgy, and we have to hire somebody to polish our gold ceilings. It's like you don't got to do that, man. Like you don't have to have this. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be opulent. Like I know, and it's like, well, we're building a temple to God, and it's honoring God. It's like, I guess, man. I'm not qualified to argue about that, but
I guess I'm not.
But it sure especially those mega churches that you were talking about. Like it sure seems like just like everything else, somebody's getting rich, and it ain't you.
East of town here, man. I think that motherfucker's like 3,000 people in there.
Yeah. Which is
good.
If
just $1. If just $1 every week. If just $1. Add that up.
And it's awesome that many people show up. Like community is like, that's the part of it that I like, is you showing up with people who feel the same way as you do, and they're your friends, and you catch up with them every week, and that's really good for your mental health for sure.
Fellowship.
I love that part of
fellowship.
Church.
Not church. Fellowship is mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah, I think that part of church is amazing. Fellowship. And I really like the part where you stand up and you're like, hey, and you say hi to the strangers around you or whatever. That's cool.
Fellowship. Yep.
That's cool. I got it. And I see the appeal of that, and it's awesome. And like bake sales and
true fellowship.
Like church recipes and stuff like that. And you guys are all friends, and you go to each other's kids' graduation parties. Like, I got it. That's awesome. Those are the parts of church that I like. The problems come in when there's like money involved.
Not and fellowship.
I mean, there's plenty of problems with the Catholic Church that we're not going to get into.
That's where
on our show, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's definitely where fellowship draws the line.
There. So anyway, let me get off of that, but the conversation's just flowing today, man. It's been an hour and a half, so it's kind of a long episode. Hope you guys don't mind.
Switch it up every now and then.
Yeah. Leave some likes on this video. Leave some comments for sure. I'm really enjoying seeing the likes go up every week. This last episode's doing pretty good. I would like to see some more comments. You comment, we'll like it. We'll probably reply. We'll do all that stuff. So
hell yeah. If I see it, hell yeah, I'm gonna reply right off the bat.
Yeah. So maybe that's my goal. I want to get some more comments, man. I want to get some more engagement. I want to get some more back and forth with the people that listen to the show. I think that'd be pretty fun. Because I'm looking at the view counts aren't huge. Like we got like the one I put up on Friday. It has like 50 views or something, which is more than usual. But it's like usual. But like if you ask me to sit down and list the 50 people that I think watched it, I wouldn't even be able to tell you who any of you are. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think, like, off the top of my head, I cannot think of 50 people that I know that probably listen. I don't even know if I know 50 people. Like, there's people listening to the show that I can't even imagine.
Holler at us.
Yeah, just say what's up.
Say what's happening.
Yeah, you don't, I mean, don't, like, sit there telling us about yourself or anything. Just say, yo, what's up, or something.
Yeah,
just
holler at us.
Yeah, just give us some more comments, man, and that'll help our videos, and we would sure appreciate it. Like it, subscribe, and I think there's, like, a notification thing where you can get notified when we upload a video. If you do that, if you do that, that helps. Yeah, I mean, we're just not. I'm not staying up on our social media that good, and
me neither. I was just about to say that. I could be a whole lot better.
And like, we need your help. So like, comment, like the video, do all that stuff, and it'll help us out a lot. And we would really, really, really appreciate it. I mean, we'll get back at you in the comments too. So, anyway, YouTube, Spotify has the videos. Excuse me. Audio is pretty much everywhere. We're on a lot of social medias. But
Look out for us on Threads.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't know that, but we're gonna have a Threads.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick that off.
Are you getting off? Are we moving from Twitter to Threads, or are we gonna do both? We can just do one.
Twitter, man, I ain't no good at.
Yeah, we'll just do a Threads. We're gonna migrate.
I stay up on my current events.
We're gonna migrate from Twitter to Threads.
We're gonna see what's up with Threads.
But yeah, check us out on our socials. Just search us. Always Chilling Podcast on whatever you're at, and if we're there, we'll be the first thing that shows up. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Hope you guys have a great week. Sorry we get sidetracked so often. I mean, I'm getting sidetracked during the outro. I'm feeling kind of high energy lately.
Me too, man.
I started the show like, oh, I'm kind of tired from moving those couches, but like I'm bouncing off the walls now.
Like, I don't know what I gotta go do now.
Yeah,
but I gotta go
do
something.
That was a fun. I'm feeling really energized by that conversation. So I hope you guys loved the conversation. Tell your friends to listen to us. Like I said, leave a comment. Tell your mom to listen to us. Tell your grandma to listen to us. I had to tell my grandma not to listen to us because we cuss too much. She doesn't like. She don't like cussing at all. Right. So if your grandma doesn't like cussing, don't tell her. But if she does like cussing,
they're smoking reefer.
Yeah. If your grandma's into stuff like that, she probably likes the show. Anyways, have a great week, guys.